don't let the record of the week fool you, as Philadelphia had some pretty big moments, even though they only posted a 9-6-2 record. Over the course of the week, the Phillies, posting the most games, ultimately had the most losses of any team with 4. Even though the Sixers were able to pick up 2 wins, so were the Flyers. The Fusion pick up a win, and both the Wings and the Union go down. But we have some very big stories to talk about, so please sit down, turn up your volume, relax, and enjoy a line here on The Orange Line.
Wake up, Philadelphia, and let me hear you sing.
Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. He had high hopes. He had high hopes.
Clap your hands, everybody, for Philadelphia 76.
So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to The Orange Line, episode 17. It is March 14th here in 2019. I am your host, as always, Dr. PhD, the host of The Orange Line, Philadelphia's first and only 8 for 8 podcast. Like I said, a lot of big things to talk about, so we should probably start at the beginning, and this week started with the Philadelphia Phillies. They usually play a game before I even sit down to record, and that was the case starting last Thursday, I should say, where they ended up losing to the New York Yankees, but in a split series took a win over Detroit, so that's fantastic. But they've been looking decent. They've been shifting a lot of players around, as teams do during the spring training season down in the Grapefruit League. But a lot of players have been getting some play time. One of those players who had some plate appearances under his belt was Bryce Harper. He finally had some of his first at-bats for the Phillies, except he didn't. He ended up having 2 plate appearances, and in both of them he walked, which is great. So if you're one of the people that paid a whole bunch of money to go see his first at-bats, in spring training, then awesome. You got to see a guy look at some pitches. He did end up getting a run in the game, but it's not like he had a lot to do with it, because after he walked, Rhys Hoskins hit a home run. Hooray! But I'm not gonna sit here and say that Harper's a bust or anything. I mean, he hasn't done anything. He literally hasn't done anything for the team himself yet. So it's still going to be interesting to see what he brings to the table as spring training goes on, and he gets more at-bats. He maybe gets some innings out in the field, and really joins in on this team. And it's just making me more excited, though, for this season, because we have a whole bunch of new players, a whole bunch of new faces, and it's gonna be interesting to see where it all stacks up come time to real life, the real regular season. So with that being said, another new player to the city of Philadelphia is going to be Matt Bennett, who joins the Philadelphia Wings on defense. What a transition there. But the Wings get a new player to join their defense, which should be really good for them, considering the fact that they are not doing too well right now, even though they are I believe the Wings are the most championship-winning team in all of Philadelphia, which is fantastic. Great for the Wings, but as of right now, they are not doing. They're not doing the best. They currently are not playing the best of defense, which is why Matt Bennett has been added to the team to hopefully shut down some of the better teams and maybe change some things around for the Wings. Unfortunately, I don't have much of some inside news. I don't know if the teams were busters or if they were actually some cool guys. Even though I did know that the Bandits had a decent amount of busters on their team. But what I do know is that one of the people that I have on the inside is not allowed to show up anymore. And that's not in a bad way. I'm just saying that she's seen one too many losses, and by that I mean she's only been to losses. So unfortunately, she's been banned. She can't go anymore. But hopefully that opens up the opportunity for yours truly to see some more games live. Tweet them out for you, and all those fun things. Just because I'm pretty lucky to have someone I know who has season tickets because like I've always said about the Wings, it's just fun going and watching them play. The atmosphere is almost entirely different when you're at a game like the Wings as opposed to the Flyers or especially like the Eagles. It's all very different, but it's so much fun in its own right, and that's why I'm very happy to say that I've also been afforded the opportunity to get season tickets to the Philadelphia Soul this year, which I'm very excited about. Get to sit down and see every single kick, every single throw, and every single other play that happens. No, it's gonna be real exciting to see the Soul, see some Money Reynolds. I know a lot of people are talking about the free agency over in the NFL, but here in the AFL, it's gonna be so great to be a Philadelphia Soul fan, getting to sit in the crowd and enjoy probably one of my favorite teams in the city, because like I've said before, they are the heart and soul of Philadelphia. So with that being said, let's just continue on with. I've been talking a lot about the. I won't say the lesser four sports. That sounds too bad. I think they're the eclectic four. Yeah, I'd see. I like the sound of that. I said it to myself earlier today, and I was like, but I like the sound of it now. Continuing on with that is going to be with the Philadelphia Fusion in Overwatch League. Picked up a win in Week 4 against the Las Vegas Valiant. Continuing to show that they are a very, very, very good team in both games in Week 2. The Fusion just seemed like everything could have gone either way, and unfortunately they went against the Fusion. But in Week 3 they were able to pick up a win, and now they're really gaining steam against some of these opponents. So they're looking to end Stage 1 strong here in Week 5. They're going to be playing the Paris Eternal at 3 o'clock on Sunday, March 17th. So that'll be really exciting. And then head into the stage playoffs and hopefully get some money, get some more of those royalties. I don't know. Get all the bragging rights, because this team is one that could really play with some bragging rights, especially Carpe. I love how much he talks on social media and how in your face he kind of is. And just speaking about the Fusion in general, I know it's like the newest league especially in these 8 sports, and it's the newest team and everything like that. And I personally feel like esports are a bit misunderstood. I won't do, a whole bit right now, but I feel like it's something that not everyone's going to be aware of and not everyone's going to understand. So I think at some point I'm going to try to sit down with someone I know who knows a lot about Overwatch League and is a big fan of the game Overwatch and the league itself. Try to explain some things for you, just so everyone who is listening will be understanding of what's happening when I talk about the Philadelphia Fusion, because it's one of the best spectator sports, I feel, and it's a really really fun sport. So I think be on the lookout for that podcast against again, and I'm also still working on that wrestling podcast, so be on the lookout for that as well. I'm rambling, but we're going to keep going, talking about the Union finishing off the Eclectic 4. They took a loss. They took a big L on Sunday. They lost to Kansas City, Sporting Kansas City, 2-0, which honestly it seems on par with this team. I'll just give my honest opinion. The Fusion, it's a team I get real excited about. I love soccer, and I love the fact that there's a big team that's within our market. So I love the Union, but they are not the best team, which is, sorry about that. My phone was going off. But it is a little upsetting to see that one of the teams that I really like continue to struggle. I know the strongest point, it seems, throughout the Union's existence is goaltending, and I know that is still true to this day. I mean, having 3-1 losses and 2-0 losses are not fun, or indicative of good goaltending. But I know I still have faith in this team, and I'll always believe in them. They're a team that always seems to have like a big uptick, like in the midpoint of the season. I always feel like there's a decent bit where the Union are losing and they're losing, and then like out of nowhere they'll string together a couple of wins. So I think I don't know. I'm still excited for the Union. 2 losses, though, posting an 0-2 record is not fun. But it's alright, because one of the teams that is very, 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 very fun to talk about recently is the Philadelphia Flyers. Welcome back to OG Orange Line. Philadelphia Flyers continue to be the NHL's hottest team. It is so great to say that unironically, which is true. I saw a stat the other day. I believe in the last 24 games, the Flyers are 18-4-2. What? 18-4-2. That's so awesome. This team's been playing great. So it's just great to watch this team succeed. They're getting their players back too. Recently, Jake Voracek came back, and Nolan Patrick got back onto the ice. Nolan Patrick will continue to play though. Jake Voracek will be out for the next 2 games, because in the Islanders game that happened on Saturday the 9th, there was a play that I'm sure people are familiar with right now, that it really just seemed like Jake got the better of a hit, and the other guy took a bad spill, and for some reason Jake went into the box, and now he's suspended for 2 games. So a lot of Flyers fans are scratching their heads. And I do have some thoughts on this. Because I feel like we as Philly fans, we really like Philly. We really like our Philly sports, and we want everything great to happen to our sports. Which is why when we see a call that looks like a trip, we're going to freak out. Because, yeah, that's a fucking trip, ref, and you got to call that. That's bullshit that you're not calling it, and you should call that. But when it happens against us, then it's still bullshit. Why are you calling that play? But I don't know. I feel like after listening to Jake talk about it and to kind of take myself out of just a Philadelphia mindset, I can kind of understand it. I mean, Jake said that he realized that the hit was coming, so he decided to brace himself. And he's a big, strong dude. So when that guy's skating ahead at him, and he runs into a big, strong dude like Jake, he goes down. And he obviously took a bad spill. It looked like a bad spill. But Jake stayed standing. But the one thing that Jake said is that he goes, well, it could have been a little bit further away from me when talking about the puck than I had initially anticipated, which leads to the interference call. And I feel like things would be different if, there was no interference call. Because then it would end up being, just a clean hit. If the puck was, close, it would have just been a clean hit. But it could have just been far enough that the refs on the ice, who don't get all the same views that we see, could have just felt like it was far enough away from the play that something had to be called. Now, the dude took a bad spill, and that makes it look a lot worse than it actually was, which is why it ends up being a suspension. So still, fuck that guy. I still have no idea what your name is that fell, but fuck you, because you not being able to take a hit led to one of our, best players right now get sidelined again, right after he came back. You're a dick. But thank God we got Patty back. I was so scared. I was so scared when he got hit in the head. Thank God for Patty. And another player that we got back is, unlike the Soul, who are the heart and soul of Philadelphia, he is the heart of this team. Carter Hart, that is. He's finally back, getting a start tonight against the Capitals. Should be good because we got embarrassed on the 6th 2 weeks ago, 2 episodes ago, I'll say, because having 5 goals scored on us like we were fucking chumps, it did not sit right for me, and it just did not look good. Mounted a little bit of a comeback though, so hopefully the Washington Capitals will be a bit on guard. They're not going to take us so lightly. Also, taking a sneak peek at what's ahead, I see that the Penguins are up there at Pittsburgh. So you bet your ass we're coming for you. Always are. But yeah, I think I don't have crazy thoughts on the Jake hit. I just feel like it was a little over embellished because of the dude who just took a bad bump. But I can see where everyone else is coming from. To us, it's like, oh, that's a good hit. To everyone else, it's like, dude, what the fuck? Plus, it's a top team. Like they're granted some kind of protection. I don't know. I'm not gonna touch that one anymore. Moving on to another team that's doing real well recently is the Sixers, Philadelphia Sixers. I said that this week they posted a 2-1 record, and the 2 games that they won were at home. And looking back at the record, the last 2 games that they played away, they were losses. So I don't know what that is necessarily telling of. Just a coincidence I'm noticing. Joel Embiid looked real good in his return on Sunday, and it's great to have him back out there on the floor. But yes, he did come back on Sunday, March 10th. Posted 33 points in his return, and I believe he had 19 rebounds, which is that's awesome. But it really seemed like things are really gonna start to come back together for the Sixers, who a lot of people haven't been too keen on, I guess, only because of the fact that there are personalities and players with different mindsets all on the team, so things end up being a little clashy, I'll say. But yeah, it's great to see the big man back. We also got Boban back, which is fantastic. A lot of people are excited. I keep running into people who are just talking about the Sixers, and I'm like, hey man, they look like a hell of a team. So welcome back, Embiid. Welcome back, Boban. Also saw that Tobias Harris won DraftKings Player of the Month, averaging I think 20.6 points a game. But he's been playing absolutely well, incredibly well of late. Him, Ben Simmons has been all over the place, but we know that. I don't know. I like I said, still need some brushing up on everything, but the more and more I watch them, the more and more I love the fact that they are a great team that people seem to be just doubting because of the personalities, even though they are winning. They're doing something very right here, which makes me excited because playoffs are around the corner. Just got my JJ Redick jersey, so I'm hype. I'm hype. I'm excited to learn more, and I'm excited to see basketball played at the highest level possible coming up in the coming weeks. We're getting to the end here, guys. But a team that has already made it to their end is the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have not been doing too much recently. I say that on every podcast. But some free agents are starting to get thrown back into the mix, I'll say. One of them being linebacker LJ Fort, coming from, it looks like the Steelers. Apparently, he's coming off of the best season of his career. That's what Twitter's telling me. And at what point has Twitter ever lied? It also said he's a special teams ace. I like it. We did have to part ways with Michael Bennett, though, which is a little upsetting. But we did get the return of a man I was really, really happy with when he spent his first run here. And something he is something that I feel like this team can absolutely use. Welcome back, Deshaun Jackson. Is he gonna wear 11? Is he gonna wear 10? What is he gonna do? But welcome back, Deshaun Jackson, for hopefully another great run in Philly. He was one of my favorite players. Like I said when he was first here, I did get a little sour on him at the end there for alleged reasons why he was ousted from the team. But I just learned that some of those reasons were fake, so it's not even worth talking about. I'm so excited. I was debating on what jersey I was gonna get for the Eagles, but now I think I have an idea. It's gonna be great to see D-Jax back. Who can't remember Miracle at the Meadowlands 2? What, what an insane call by Merrill Reese, first off. He made it so hype. What a comeback against the Giants in the Meadowlands. What a punt return by Deshaun Jackson. What a player. I am very excited for this season coming up. And if moves like this are going to be continue to be made, then hell yeah. Let's go, Philadelphia Eagles. EAGLES Eagles. And if you want to be updated throughout the week on some of the bigger sports things that are going around for this team, feel free to follow me on Twitter. That's going to be at Dr. PhD, DOCTER PhD. I really, really, really am looking forward to some of these seasons. I hope you are as well. Had a short one today. Really rushed it. I had a lot going on recently, but things are well, and I'm glad to be on episode 17 of this podcast. I hope everyone's enjoying it. If you do, really, please like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube, if you're listening on Apple Music or Google Play. Thank you so much. Please like it, subscribe to it, or download it, or share it. Do whatever you want with it. But I would love feedback in any way, shape, or form. What can I be doing better? What can I be doing worse? I had the idea of what if I throw, just a light bed of music in the background or something like that. Let me know what you all want. Because I want to make this as good as possible. And I want you guys to have as good of a time. I messed that up so bad. Too bad I'm not going to cut it. But I want you to have as good of a time as possible while listening to this podcast. So, with all that being said, thank you for listening to the Orange Line. Be on the lookout for future podcasts, and I will see you all later.